Imagine sitting across from a therapist who mispronounces your name, dismisses your beliefs, or assumes they already know your story before you even had a chance to speak. It happens more often than we'd like to admit, and it's one of the reasons why many people, specifically from marginalized communities, walk away from mental health care feeling misunderstood or worse, not cared for at all. Hi, I'm Natasha Morrison, and I've seen firsthand how cultural misunderstanding or conscious bias can break trust between provider and client. And that's why today I want to talk about an approach that shifts how we serve others, cultural humility. As an RBT myself, and as future therapists, social workers, psychologists, or anyone entering the behavioral health field, we need more than just technical skills. We need humility. So today I'll explain why cultural humility matters in mental health, the damage caused by cultural disconnects, and how adopting humility can improve our practice in our clients' lives. First, let's start with the facts. According to the American Psychiatric Association, Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous individuals are less likely to receive mental health care. And when they do, it's often of lower quality than their white counterparts. Many providers aim to be culturally competent, but cultural competence often implies that we can fully understand someone else's lived experience just by reading their training. And that's just simply not true. Julianne Mosley, in her article, Nurturing Cultural Humility in Mental Health Care, explains that cultural humility is different. It's not just about mastering someone else's culture. It's about being open, self-aware, and constantly learning. Without that mindset, even well-meaning professionals can create environments where clients feel judged or unheard or invisible. So, what's the alternative? Cultural humility is an ongoing, lifelong process of self-reflection, self-critique, and openness to learning from others. Unlike cultural competence, which may unintentionally suggest that one can arrive at cultural mastery, humility is about remaining teachable forever. In 1998, physicians Melanie Tervalon and Jan Marie Garcia introduced the term in their Journal of Healthcare for the Poor and Unserved article that they emphasize that humility helps practitioners recognize and address power imbalances in clinical encounters. It also requires us to examine our biases, acknowledge our limitations, and prioritize their client's cultural knowledge and experience. That shift, seeing that the client is an expert on their own life, can be transformational. Here's a helpful way to think about it. On the left, cultural competence assumes knowledge. And on the right, cultural humility encourages curiosity. That shift changes everything, from how we ask questions to how we can build treatment plans. And as an RBT, I understand how very important it is for cultures to include what they do at home, their cultural stuff, into the treatment plans, because I work with a lot of Indian kids, Muslim kids, African kids through in my center, and we always incorporate their lifestyle and their culture and how they want things done into the treatment plans. It is very important. It is not just about how the kid's going to do well in school. It's about how the kid's going to be at home for their parents. And a lot of kids, there's a lot of cultures. Autism is not just in American children, it's everywhere. So it is very important that we are asking the right questions when we are building treatment plans. And what could the future look like if we do incorporate cultural humility? So picture this. A therapist meets with a refugee client who practices spiritual rituals unfamiliar to Western therapy models. Instead of dismissing them, the therapist asks, how do your beliefs help you feel grounded during difficult times? That question alone could just build so much trust, because the client could sit there and be like, oh, maybe she actually does hear me out. She actually understands that I am different from everybody here. She wants to learn more about me and what I'm going through and listen to me instead of just dismissing my beliefs and just pushing that person's beliefs or American culture or Western culture onto that person. Then when we show curiosity and allow these clients to define their own healing journey, we empower them. But imagine the opposite. If we rely on stereotypes, push the one-size-fits-all model, I see it in education all the time, we might unintentionally silence clients or even cause them harm, which I've seen all the time in the education with clients. They may stop coming, or worse, they may internalize their way of healing is wrong. The choice is clear. You want to make that connection. You want to build that trust. So what can we do about it? So what now? If you're already a mental health professional, take continuing education courses on cultural humility. Engage in regular self-reflection. Ask, whose voices am I not hearing? Consult with diverse peers and ask for feedback from clients when possible. If you're still in school, advocate for cultural humility to be built into your program's curriculum. Form study groups to challenge each other's biases and learn about different cultures, but more importantly, learn to ask better questions. If you're in a policy or leadership position, push for training that centers around cultural humility, not just surface level diversity. I know a lot of talks have been happening with the DEIs have been pulled back, but just we can always have our own things going that we do for jobs, education, or whatever, to where we are still including the diverse, adding all that diversity and stuff. We do not want to push people away. That is not what we are trying to do. We want to make everybody feel included. That's why they come to America. So we can still have our own DEIs, our own companies, and our own ways to make sure we are including people. It is very important. And first and lastly, also, if you are in leadership positions, build accountability systems where client feedback matters. There has been no accountability for stuff. I see it firsthand as an African American woman. With my kids, they're on the spectrum. I see a lot of stuff, and with a lot of craziness going on, we have to start holding people accountable. This is not okay. So cultural humility isn't just a box to check, okay? It is lenses that we have to live through. These are people's lives. We have to take this very seriously. This is a part of how they live. We have to be open to it. We have to listen. Whatever issues and stuff they're dealing with, we are there to help them. We can't help them if we're not listening to them. So, in conclusion, our job in mental health is not just to treat symptoms. It is to understand people, and that requires humility. Today, we explored the gap in care that happens when humility is missing. We also talked about how cultural humility redefines the client-provider relationship, and how we can all take steps to ensure that we are being more inclusive and compassionate in our care. As Juliana Mosley reminds us, cultural humility is not an arrival, it is a journey. And let's commit that journey, because when we do it, we don't just become better professionals, we become